One patient said about a day or two before dying that dying was so wonderful. Reminded me of one of our early members of Contemplative Outreach who worked in New Hampshire, Sister Mary Ann Lachlan, who, when she was dying, was surrounded by many people who came to see her. She had run a little retreat house in the local parish, and she kept saying, "I never knew death could be so much fun." So, in other words, there is a work going on that is relentless, is very challenging, but its purpose is to heal all the wounds of the soul so that it can open itself completely to God and begin to feel the regenerating or the powerful forces that it may have been separated from all its life that emerge from the ground of being or the source of God's life and gifts within us. So it's the full integration of body, soul, and spirit. And it also resembles some of the data that we have collected from near-death experiences. In fact, Kathleen Dowling Singh distinguishes near-death experience from nearing death experience. Nearing death experience is a lengthy period that has these two characteristics, because chaos really belongs to the earlier levels of adjustment to the process. But surrender and transcendence, these are transpersonal states and the fullness of the contemplative life. Often these dying patients show great interest in those that are with them, especially children and family, and are more concerned about them than about themselves often in these final stages. And also striking is the sense of coming home, the sense of welcoming death at this point, of being experiencing the life that is contained in death. In other words, these patients are experiencing, in the full sense of the term, inner resurrection. In other words, they're glowing, and sometimes they glow. You can even see according to her, you have the eyes of openness to this faith and love experience. You can see that something new has happened to them. There's a certain radiance in the body sometimes is evident, and also they sometimes speak of seeing beloved relatives who've gone on, who've come to get them, and there's some exchange, and they smile in recognition, and then as closer they get to death, the happier they seem to become. So you want me to give you hell? Some context for this concept is important because it has disturbed people for centuries, and in some Christian traditions has terrified people, especially as they approach the ultimate hour of confrontation with the reality of death. This is probably the most monstrous or horrendous sanction that has ever been thought of for misdeeds. And the eternal aspect of it is what prompted Dante to say, or put over the entrance to hell, give up all hope here. So to have no hope is to be inhuman, is not to be human, because to live or to survive with any degree of of endurance requires some ray of hope. So the mystery then of hell is, and certainly it's presented in Jesus' teaching, needs to be researched prayerfully and deeply to try to grasp what it means in an era such as we are beginning to live in, of profound psychological insight and facts about how the human psyche works in particular circumstances, situations, and in the context of the whole of one's life, and of the basic influences that formed our concept of self or ego. So that means that the whole concept of hell after death is a paradigm, or is at least related to the experience of rejection or alienation from God that took place in the dark nights or in the dying process. So is hell eternal actually? Or is it a hell eternal psychologically? That is to say, it seems like it will never end.